All right, rock and roll. Welcome to the Scorched Earth podcast for Sunday, February 23rd, 2025. And boy, oh boy, we're trying to make it through the weekend. Tell you, how do we not have 4-day work weeks? I just don't understand that. Just don't understand. The man's always trying to keep us down. But you know what? You and I are going to fight the man. We're going to fight the power. That's what I'm telling you. So if you could, as we're fighting the power, hit that subscribe and like button, okay? I know you can do it. You were born to be the rebel. Come on, just right there. All right. Hey, leave some comments. I'm going to get to those. And you know what? It's kind of a light day in the news, so I'm going to tell you a little story. I like to start out the podcast with a story. And this one is going to concern super producer Stacy, okay? She has been a dear friend for over 25 years, okay? We met at this club. It was, a mutual interest type of thing. And, like a biking or hiking, that kind of thing. And, we got along really well. At the time, we were just trying to figure stuff out. We were a young kid. Actually, she still is a young kid. And so we got along so well just in this mutual interest that we decided to we'd hang out at a pizza parlor, get a pizza, just talk, see how it was, just whatever. And I know for the world, that's really weird, a guy and a girl being friends and just platonically, but that's what we've always been. She's just been the best friend. I've been really blessed to have her as a friend. She's been kind of like the rock through a lot of stuff. But the first time we ate pizza, we go, and she orders the pizza, okay? So I go and get the utensils. I go sit at the table, get the table, give you the beverages, you fill them up, self-serve, And I'm sitting at the table, and she comes wheeling around the corner like a little, dervish. I mean, she's got some fire in this little. I'm like, whoa. I knew her, but I didn't really know her that well. And she goes, you wouldn't believe what happened. And I said, okay, now we're going to find out what really is going down, right? So she said, guess what they did? I said, please inform me. And she said, I paid the gentleman with money. I said, okay. This is before crypto, so I wasn't sure there was another alternative, but okay, I'm going with her. I'm just trying to figure it out. And she says, he gave me the change, and then he went over and started making our pizza. And I said, okay. She goes, you know what? That's disgusting. And I said, okay. And she said, do you know what kind of germs are on that pizza? And I said, well, I'm sure there's some germs there. I'm not going to argue, but do you think the 450 degrees Celsius in the pizza oven might kill him? She goes, no, I called the manager over. I go, uh-oh. Now I'm starting to get worried, right? But I want to play it cool. Now, this was a while ago. This is before standard protocol was, the little slip-on plastic gloves, which she's right. I mean, there's a lot of germs. There's a lot of viruses on money. I get it. The guy should have washed his hands. But I have this rule of thumb. I don't mess with the help until I get my food, okay? Because a lot of stuff goes on behind that wall, right? We all, hey, I'm not going to start, if I have to wait for a table or something, I'm not going to start bitching at the waitress because that lady is telling the cook, table 4, they're kind of jerks. I got you, girl, right? So the pizza comes and I'm just staring at it. Now, when we eat pizza over the years, I'm literally like Godzilla going through Tokyo, right? Stacy is a petite lady, right? she eats, but it's like a bird, right? It's like a bird. And I'm like, okay, right? So she starts eating and I'm trying to hold back. Now, she really doesn't know me. She doesn't know how I eat. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, whoa, is she showing any signs? Is she getting sick? Is there going to be projectile vomiting? And actually, I took my half of the pizza home that night and then I threw it away. Yeah, I didn't tell her that. But I was like, you know what? From now on, I think I'll order the pizza. I think I'll take care of that. She's like, oh, okay, that'd be cool. So how do we get to this story? So yesterday, I meet super producer Stacy, and we're working out some technical issues here. Okay. And she opens up the trunk of her vehicle, and I look over there in this little storage carrier thing, and it says organic nuts. Now, let's give you a little backstory on this. Stacy is a very philanthropic person. She's very civically minded. She walks around her beautiful town. She talks to people. She helps people. She's a really, really just a sweet human being. But one of the things Stacy does is she feeds squirrels. Okay. So I looked at the nuts, and of course they're organic. All right. You know, because that's the code for, I don't really care what they say. I'm sorry. The organic and the regular nuts, they come out of the same orchard. They're the same thing. There's just one with the green label. They can charge you $4 more a pound. But okay, that's why I'm cynical. That's why I'm hosting Scorched Earth. Okay. So she goes, I'm feeding the squirrel the organic nuts. And I said, she sent me videos. Now, I've tried to get her to put the videos on the channel, but she won't do it. Okay. Maybe we get 1,000 subscribers. Maybe we'll get Stacy feeding a squirrel. I don't know. I'm not promising that. Okay. So I said, you're feeding the squirrel organic nuts. She goes, yeah, I want the squirrel to be healthy. I said, what the hell? What? The squirrel be healthy? It's in the wilderness. It lives like 2 years. I mean, really, how much life expectancy are you taking back by just feeding it the regular nut with 2 preservatives? She goes, no, I want the squirrel to be healthy. And I'm thinking to myself, how did we get from the pizza girl who called the manager because the pizza was touched with a person with money, and then the pizza went into a 450-degree oven that literally would kill anything, to she's feeding wild animals? Like, how does that happen in a lifetime? I mean, literally, I expect to see her on Jack Hanna. I expect to see her on an African safari. You know, oh, look, Jane Goodall got replaced by Stacy. Look at her. Oh, man, she's cuddling with the gorillas. All right. That's my story for the day. You know, it's funny when you have a friend, and it's funny to see the journey, the path that they do. And then you're sitting there saying, man, I've been stagnant this whole time. She's making the best out of life, right? All right. Taking no prisoners, telling no lies. Here we go with Scorched Earth Podcast. All right. So yesterday, on Saturday, happy Saturday fun day, right? Federal workers began receiving emails asking them to explain what work they did last week, as Elon Musk announced that failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. All right. I'm sure this applies, this adheres to all the legal standards. You know, I don't even check my email, you know? Jesus criminy. So the email says, please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullet points of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Okay. I guess we got that performance review in the middle of February, right? Month on the job. He's ready to go, right? He also said, consistent with President Trump's instructions, all federal employees will shortly receive an email requesting to understand what they got done last week. Hopefully they weren't sick. Might be a real tough one. Tough sell. Musk posted Saturday on X hours after Trump suggested he become more aggressive. And here actually is the president's statement. He says, Elon is doing a great job, but I would like to see him get more aggressive. Okay. Now this coming from a president who's working so hard, he couldn't go and honor the 67 people who died 5 miles away from him in Washington. This is also the president who is so busy that he only has time to litigate and negotiate and try and broker a deal between Live Golf and the PGA Tour. So the millionaires can become billionaires and the billionaires can become trillionaires. Yeah. But eggs hit a new high for price on Friday. Don't worry about it. Don't got time for that, okay? Homie, don't play that. Homie, don't play lower prices, okay? That's what the president be telling you, okay? So Trump, Musk then said on X, failure to respond will be seen as resignation. After Musk's post, President Trump called the X owner a patriot, and he said he was doing a great job in his CPAC comments. You know, CPAC is that Conservative Political Action Committee. Actually, I think it's like that thing they put over your face when you snore, and literally it's giving you some oxygen before it actually snuffs you out. Just ends your thing, you know? CPAC, yeah, never a good thing. Everett Kelly, president of the National American Federation of Government Employees, and maybe they could put a couple more words in there so I can keep getting tongue-tied, said his union plans to take legal action to challenge any unlawful termination of our members and federal employees. And I'm starting to wonder, I don't know about this specific union, but like 45% of unions endorse Trump. Wonder if they're rethinking that these days. What am I thinking, huh? Yeah. So after the president told Elon he needed to get more aggressive and he's doing a great job, Elon replied on X, "Will do, Mr. President." My question is, in this cute little relationship, who's the bottom? I don't know. Changes day to day. You know? What is it called? A bear? I don't know. I don't know enough about that, okay? Hey, don't hate me because I'm straight-laced, okay? If you want me to be a little more risque, leave some comments, okay? I know you can. Get out there, start typing on that beautiful phone. Okay, let's do this. Damn it, do it together. In a year, this is going to be the biggest podcast in the world. I can already hear you chuckling. It's going to happen. It's really going to happen. I hope. So odd things in the news. Trump says his immigration enforcement agents will now occupy the USAID offices after all the members there were fired. I think we're down to 8 members that will deal with Africa and Central America. Yeah, sounds real good. Elon on X, Twitter, whatever it's called, failed venture, bragged of feeding USAID to the wood chipper and gleefully talked about how immigration was going to take over their offices. All right. You know, you could tell there's a lot of charity in that guy's heart. You know, right now they claim we're somewhere at like 23 or 30 billion dollars in savings or whatever. You know, this guy's worth 350 billion. Why doesn't he just write a check? Why don't you say, you know what? We're going to find 50 billion. I don't think they're even going to find 50 billion. He's going to tell you he found 50 billion, but you know, it's like the husband who leaves his wife and he goes to get a 6-pack of beer and comes back a week later and says, "Oh, I got lost on the way home." Yeah. Yeah, sure you did, buddy. Sure you did. All right. Pope Francis is in the hospital in critical condition. Everybody of faith, say a little prayer for him. He has asthmatic respiratory crisis. Seems pretty serious. He had pneumonia in both of his lungs. I am a fallen Catholic. I grew up Catholic. I was a Catholic altar boy. I was a Catholic schoolboy. I fell away from the church, but you know, I hope he returns to health and it gets better. All right, another little thing. Probably most of the people in this audience weren't born then, but talk about where does time fly. 45 years ago yesterday, the biggest moment in American sports history happened when the United States in Lake Placid beat the unbeatable Soviet Union hockey team. Al Michaels rendered the unbelievable and unmistakable line, "Do you believe in miracles?" Yes. And it was truly the greatest American sports moment. And where did 45 years go? You know, it's just, most of the people here probably weren't even born, but I'm telling you, it was so spectacular. I really can't even, I don't even know what would compare to it. I don't know. All right. Maybe I'll think about it and tell you tomorrow. All right. Hamas, the terrorist organization, supposedly, freed 6 hostages Saturday. But Israel didn't comply with their side of the bargain. They were supposed to release 620 Palestinians. And what happens is when you capture somebody from Israel, they start scooping up your people. I mean, literally 100. They run into the market. They just start arresting everybody, right? I keep telling Israel that Trump is a member of Hamas, but they don't listen to me, right? So Israel is supposed to release 620 Palestinians, but they didn't. They didn't follow through on their side of the deal. And they said they will release them at a further time, but they have to do it without Hamas doing, as they called it, humiliation ceremonies. I guess they put a hood on them. They walk them across the stage. That's a humiliation. I don't know. But at the end of the day, and this is what Hamas has been saying the whole time, we can't trust them if we agree to a deal, we can't trust them once we lay down our arms for them not to keep firing, because they're not going to disarm. They're just saying they're not going to shoot at us. Well, this just in, Netanyahu lies. Also, I'd like to post something else out there. When is Israel going to repay back all the aid we've given them? You know, this is what Trump's doing with Ukraine. Hey, they need to pay back that aid. They need to pay back us for helping them when they were in a bad situation. All right. I wait for that timetable of when Israel is going to pay us back our money. Because let me tell you something. If you ask me who should pay back and who shouldn't, okay, I lean more towards Ukraine. I think Russia's much more vicious. You know, Russia has killed or injured 1 million Ukrainians, 1 million. And I did see where Russia has lost over 2 million soldiers, which is more than we lost double what we lost in the entire World War II. And I think to myself, God, how incompetent can they be? I mean, we fought in Japan. We fought in the South Pacific Theater. We island hop, Iwo Jima, Okinawa. I mean, we're going to some pretty terrible places. Plus, we were in Africa. Plus, we were in Europe. Like, wow. And they lost double what we did. Like, wow. Who's running it there? McHale's Navy? Gomer Pyle? Who's running their military? Yeah. But let's make sure Ukraine pays back, right? You know, they borrowed $175 billion. We got to make them pay back $500 billion in minerals. Yeah, don't do things because they're the right thing. Do them because you're trying to turn a profit. Well, welcome to the new order, huh? Meet the new boss, right? Like the Who said. He ain't the same as the old boss, I'll tell you that. All right, that's our podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could, hit the like and subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. If you really think I'm right about the organic nuts, leave me a comment, okay? And just say, hey, organic nuts are a fraud. I'll know what you mean. And I'll respond. All right. You guys have a good day, and I'll see you Monday.